So first of all, pump the brakes. You don't have to go the most expensive way. You don't have to go and buy $25 flowers or all of that jazz. You can really make something beautiful with just Dollar Tree and Walmart. Now, it's not going to look as nice, I'm going to be honest with you. It's not going to look as realistic, and it's not going to be all fancy business as something that you would purchase from Hobby Lobby, right? Buying those really expensive, realistic looking flowers. It does add something to your design, but if you were just starting out and you just want to give this a try, start small. So that's tip number one. Don't spend a lot of money when you're first starting out. Go to Dollar Tree, go to Hobby Lobby. The piece that I'm going to show you that I was just holding just a moment ago is all Hobby Lobby and, I'm sorry, not Hobby Lobby. It's all Dollar Tree, Walmart, and a few pieces from, no, that's all Dollar Tree and Walmart. Another great location that you can go to get flowers at a good price without going crazy, and when you get a little bit further into the process you can spend more money, but that's with anything else, right? Would be Old Time Pottery. Old Time Pottery is another great spot to get florals from. I've gotten quite a few pieces. As a matter of fact, the piece that's right over my head over here, I got a lot of the pieces that are in that. A lot of the flowers from that piece were purchased at Old Time Pottery. So tip number one, don't spend a ton of money. Flowers in this piece come from Walmart and from Dollar Tree. The vessel that I chose first. So this is the vessel that I chose first. And it's a cute little bowl that I got from Dollar Tree, and it's adorable. It even says "'Tis the season" on the inside. It's really cute. And again, I was trying to find something that was Dollar Tree, simple, grab it and go, and you can work from there. The problem with this is that it's very, very small, right? Now, that doesn't mean that you can't do a floral design in a small vessel. It just makes it a little bit more challenging, in my opinion, to use a small vessel. Another reason that I chose not to use this is because I didn't want to glue the foam to the bowl. I wanted to be able to use the bowl afterwards. So I was being a little selfish in that I really like the bowl, and I'm like, oh, this would make something, cute around the shop or around home to, drop your change or put some candy in it. And I didn't want to glue the foam into the bowl. So when I started working with it, and the foam is sliding around, and it was a really small vessel, it's not very deep, I found that it just wasn't working for what I was trying to put together. I even tried to make a little floral gnome using white poinsettias down here, and then, kind of making it spike in red, and that didn't work out. So I said, let me look around the shop and see what else I have. So I went bigger, much, much bigger. And I went with this big vessel, which is a really great vessel for florals, but I didn't have enough foam to fill it up. So that's another thing. When you are choosing the vessel, you need to make sure that when you buy your foam, that you buy enough foam to fill your vessel. So I'd only purchased enough foam to fill this, and I was trying to take that same foam and use it in this, and that didn't work out. It just wasn't enough. It wasn't, the foam was too low, and so my flowers just were not, it just wasn't coming out right. And we'll talk a bit more about how to make it look full in a moment. So when you're choosing your vessels, think about two things. Number one, think about the number of flowers that you want to use, right? The variety of flowers. And then number two, make sure you buy enough foam to fill this up to the point where you can see the foam about an inch or so from the edge. So you want it, like in this case where that line is, I should have had foam all across the bottom up to that line. And I didn't have that much foam when I began working with this particular piece. So this one was too small, this one was too big. Before I show you so this is the final product that I worked on today. This vessel comes from Dollar Tree. I'd say it's in between. It's about medium size of the two. The foam comes up to about here, in here. and I used 1 block of this foam. So essentially it's 1 block on the inside, just like that, that fills up the bottom of this vessel. And it does so because it's on an angle down here. The foam that I use. Again, I get it from Dollar Tree, and this is the dry foam. I like this better than the plastic one for a couple of reasons. I like it because I can reuse it somewhat, right? I can reuse it more than I can reuse a plastic foam. Number 2, it doesn't make that squeaky noise. Oh my gosh, if you've ever worked with a plastic foam, it's really squeaky when you put when you put the flowers in it, and it's like nails on a chalkboard. It's awful. It's awful. The other foam actually tends to leave bigger holes when you plug it in, so you can't reposition easily, but this foam allows me to reposition. The other thing that's really cool is, first of all, again, I got this from Dollar Tree, but you can buy it in 2 different ways. You can buy it as a single block, or in this case, this is all broken up into 4 little blocks. So you're getting 4 little blocks for the price of 1 big block, which is great because then if you're dealing with a small vessel, you can just take 1 or 2 blocks and plop it in there. But again, if you're working with a larger vessel, you need enough foam to fill up that bottom portion, okay? So, tip 1, don't spend a ton of money on your flowers and your supplies. Tip 2, choose the right vessel. And tip 3, use the dry foam from Walmart. Really, really easy peasy. I want to point out when you are choosing your flowers, no matter where you get them from. So, the first thing I want to point out is go for variety. Even though this is a Christmas decor kind of floral arrangement, think outside the box in terms of flower choice. You don't have to make it all poinsettias. Throw in some daisies, throw in some lilies, throw in some spring flowers. And the reason why I say that is I know that spring flowers don't grow in the winter, but this is not about recreating the natural environment of these flowers. It's about creating something beautiful and unique and different. So you can add, I have eucalyptus in here, and I have some little spring flowers out front, and I have, this is a spring flower too, I believe. So there's a couple of different types of flower that I chose to incorporate in here, and it makes it more full, it makes it more dynamic. Another thing that I would recommend also is, especially when you're dealing with something like holiday decor, change the shades of red. So I do have about 2 or 3 shades of red that I have going, 2 that you can see from the front, but a couple more in the back. So, use multiple shades of red, and that gives it dimension also, where it's not just white and red and white and red, it's white and red and burgundy. And then you have these greens in here, which we'll talk about in just a second. So use variety of flowers. Don't worry about seasonal, right? You're looking at color. What if you wanted to do a winter wonderland piece, right? Everything in your home is blue and white for the holidays. Okay, well, where are you going to find blue poinsettias? They don't exist in nature, right? But there are blue flowers that you can choose from to marry with these white poinsettias to give it that beautiful winter wonderland look. So don't get caught up in, oh, it has to be Christmas flowers, or oh, it has to be winter flowers. The season of the flower, especially when you're dealing with artificial flowers, you can do whatever you want. Right? Now, if these were real flowers, then yeah, okay, you have to be concerned about season, because whether or not you can actually get them is the question, right? But when you're dealing with artificial flowers, you can do whatever you want, and you're not married to any particular season. So let's talk about the greenery in here. Greenery is super, super important when you're putting together a floral. It is really going to really set off the color of your arrangement, and it's also going to help you give you shape to your arrangement. Meaning, when you put in your green, it defines the shape, right? This one's more of a rectangular shape that I chose. If you wanted it to be more of a triangle, then that's how you would set up your greens and then kind of work around it from there. So your greens are very, very important. In fact, you probably need more greenery than you think when you're building your floral piece, because you don't want all flowers. You can have all flowers, but it looks weird. Flowers have green leaves, so you have to have some greenery in there. So make sure that whenever you're picking out your flowers and you're choosing what you want to add to your floral arrangement, that you include some type of greenery. And I wouldn't choose just one. In this particular floral, I think I have about 4 or 5 different greeneries. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 greeneries plus the greens that are on the flowers themselves that I've picked. So that again adds dimension, it adds interest, it adds a little bit more flexibility to your piece. Don't be afraid to add pieces that look a little, different. Like this is a very dark greenery, but I like how it kind of adds a little bit of height to it. Another thing that you want to maybe add to your piece would be picks. So picks are little pieces that you can stick in there that have, like in this case, it has a pine cone. I have some berries that are sticking out. Sometimes they have an ornament. There's an ornament here in this piece. The pine cones, the berries. Picks are really fun, especially if you're trying to do something that has a theme, because you can put in individual things like candy canes or gingerbread men. You can add that interest to your floral piece using picks. I wouldn't go crazy with picks because I think sometimes that takes away from the floral. It's very distracting, but finding like a hidden treasure of a little gingerbread house kind of tucked away in your floral arrangement, I think is a lot of fun. So don't be afraid to add picks. That's my quick little tips and tricks for holiday florals and adding something special to your holiday table. I know this was fast, but this what we do on Tuesday afternoons. We give you some quick tips for crafting for on-the-go families and crafters. Don't have a whole lot of time, don't have a whole lot of money, but you can put this together in under an hour, I promise. So if you want to learn more about how to create a floral design for your holiday table, you can log on to 923fabricscrafts.com, stop by the shop, 1833 Dickerson Boulevard in Monroe, North Carolina, and I can talk to you a little bit more about floral designs. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope to see you again soon. I can't wait to see what you create.